Hi everyone, welcome to Ready, Set, Test. Thank you very much for joining me once again, and welcome here to my eFlight Optera 2.0 FPV wing. Now, we all know about eFlight Optera. I'm sure most of you do. It was a great product launched by eFlight, and I changed it, converted it into an FPV plane. Now, the word convert might seem a bit strong because it was meant to be an FPV aircraft to start with, but eFlight took a lot of liberties with it, and most of them did not work very well. So in order to turn it into a proper long-range FPV plane, a lot had to be changed, from the motor to the powertrain to different holes and recesses into airplane. Long story cut short, there was a lot of work required. I will go through those in some other video to just give you a detailed information as to what I did. But for this video, I'm going to keep it hopefully short and talk about FPV sound, as in the direct sound downlink that you get from your aeroplane. Now, a lot of FPV flyers don't do that. They just fly silently, just the video back, no sound back at all. Most of your video transmitters, as for example this one, if I can close up on it, this video transmitter here in the wing, these will have a microphone inside them. They are not the most sensitive microphones, and because most video transmitters, unlike this one here, are embedded or installed on the wings outwards in order to keep them cool and airflow on them, you are then cursed with listening to nothing else but incessant wind noise. And that's something that puts a lot of people off from listening to direct sound from FPV link, which is where the problem comes in. Now, to your apparatus, to your viewing apparatus, if we come down here to our goggles, most of your goggles, almost every goggle that I can think of, will have an AV out. This can be used to give audio video out to another screen or take a buddy on a flight with you. But this can also be used to take sound out into any 3.5mm audio jack into any headphone. You don't have to put both of them into your ear. Obviously, you want to keep situational awareness of things around you. Just one of them on your right and left ear should give you ample sound. That being said, let's also talk about the volume. The volume can be controlled from here, so you can make the noise loud or much more bearable. Personal experience, when you install a microphone to start with, the sound will be very loud, so you want to turn it down. Now, if you noticed, I use the word microphone. External microphone for FPV, because as I mentioned to you before, the video transmitter's microphone doesn't really do the job. So what do we do in case we do need sound from the plane? So I'm going to quickly take you through what's inside this plane. If I put the goggles down, let's bring the plane a little bit forward here. I'm going to remove the Optera's hatch. Now, whatever FPV craft you will use will have a hatch of some sort. Let's just go look inside. Looks like a very busy environment. Everything is where it should be, but current sensor here, ESC here, the vector is sitting inside here. The Ogbert system is still in my FX61. So if I bring the stand slightly closer in here and try to focus in, you see this little black thing in here with this little node right up on top, and there's three wires going out of it, black, red and white. This is an external microphone, cheapest chips. I bought this one on Banggood, but I don't have any affiliations on any websites. I'm sure you can find them from other websites too. The black and red are obviously power, so you take them to a source of power, read up on what your microphone needs for power, whether it's 5 or 12 volts. And the white wire goes to sound. Now in this case, the white wire, and I would try to close in on this one because it's a little too far away. So excuse the camera shake. And let's see when the camera can actually make some focus on this one. Where my finger is, the white wire is going into the sound input of the vector. This is a bit of a unique case, mostly with vector as far as I can tell, because vector has sound notifications for you, like signal loss, variometer, and all the other readouts. Vector can actually speak to you while you're flying. It's fairly cool. That's why it needs the sound input in there so it can work with the video transmitter to send it to you. If you have an autopilot that does not give you any sound alerts, no problem whatsoever. You just connect this microphone to the audio port on your video transmitter. You can get the schematic for your video transmitter, whatever make you're using, from internet, and also power it through the power going to the video transmitter, and you are set. Now that's the basic technicalities of it. Shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes to set it up if you're good with setting up your video transmitters. Just splice through the wires and you should be in. Wind noise. I mentioned this before. This is where I'm going to come down to it. The external microphone is very sensitive. That's why you want to install it inside the hatch in a rather quiet place. Once this is covered, the only wind noise you're going to get is the noise going in through the ventilation shafts to keep the inside of the plane cool. Apart from that, if you lower the sensitivity a little bit, lower the volume a tiny bit, you'd be able to hear some very useful noises. And that's where the purpose of this video comes down to. See, when you are flying, especially when you're at a certain distance away from yourself, you would stop hearing your plane, the motor and everything. It's a good idea in flight to listen to these things because they can't just be fun, they can also be safety critical. Listening to your motor spool up or spool down, listening to the resonance of the motor. I know one of my personal experiences, I flew this very plane, and with microphone, I noticed that while I wasn't seeing a lot of vibration in the video, in the microphone I could clearly hear that there was something wrong with the propeller. It just didn't sound right. And when I brought it back and balanced the propeller, it proved to be right. The propeller was slightly out of sync. Something like that you can find out fairly immediately through your microphone. You can also find out if your propeller has broken mid-flight or if a piece of it has disappeared. I'm sure you will notice the vibration in the video, but the sound element will give you the quickest feedback possible. Also, the servos on this Optera, I don't know what kind they are, but they're fairly noisy. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great servos. They're over there in the wings. I can actually hear the servos twitching, making noise, and moving through this very microphone in here. The sound induction is very good. So this also gives me a reassurance that I can hear my servos moving, and if there is a problem, I can listen through the microphone whether my servos are jittering or not. Also, you can tell very well about the wind speed around wherever you are. When you cut the motor down, you can hear the wind speed on the plane into a head or a tailwind. But if you want to make it even more refined so that you don't get any wind speed at all, take a tiny piece of sponge or foam like this, cut it very small and put it in front of the microphone. This will block out some more white noise and give you very, very good quality audio. And I'm making this video because I want you guys to try this out. I know a lot of guys do not pay attention to the audio part of FPV. But I would like you to try this out, make a flight with it, and you will realize that after 2-3 flights, you wouldn't want to go up without having an audio out to your headphones, at least as a safety side. It's great. Also, the audio is a very good measure of your video quality because as your video quality starts deteriorating, you might not see much happening with the video, but the audio, the noise, and the hiss will give you a great idea as to you are getting to a situation where you are losing your video signal rapidly. Your audio signal will deteriorate much faster than your video signal. That gives you an idea that you're getting into an area where your video signal is not good, so you might want to turn back. Now try this out for yourself and see what kind of results you come up with, and hopefully you will enjoy this. Any question and any help that I can do in this regard, I'm more than happy to. Please put that down into comments. Now, as far as this Optera is concerned, I would like to make another video about this whole Optera and what things I had to do to make it a proper FPV plane. Believe me, as it comes from the factory, it is not a proper FPV plane. Doesn't matter what they make you believe. A lot of changes need to be done. Besides that, a quick video to show you guys about the importance of live FPV video and sound, and also one of these neat little external microphones. I will put links of them from different websites down below. They're not affiliate links, so buy from whoever you please. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe if you found this useful. Catch you on another video. Have a good one.